Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MrBenShow.
We did it.
Or welcome to the MrBenShow. No, welcome to Praise the Run. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Praise the Run, episode 31. I'm Ben. This is Patrick.
I'm Patrick. I had a hash brown left.
Oh, word.
Just one. I'm good.
I should have asked if you were done eating.
I was, but then I saw there was one left, and I was like, I guess I wasn't.
Fix the focus a little bit. That looks fine. It's a pretty easygoing podcast today. There's not a lot to talk about because next week is gonna be full of all of the exciting news. But we took a week off for Thanksgiving and stuff. We said that we were going to record, but then Patrick ended up having plans, and then because Patrick had plans, I made plans. So then, yeah.
It's the holidays, you know.
What did you do?
Sometimes you gotta just do them.
Yeah. How was it?
Whether you want to or not. It wasn't terrible. I mean, I went to... excuse me. I went to Kenya's family's house and just, ate food as one does on Thanksgiving, and then that's about it. And then we went...
What kind of food? I mean, what was there? What was, like, the top tier food?
Oh, well, I mean... It was pretty basic, to be honest.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. There was nothing like super fancy. The turkey was pretty good. I'm not like a huge turkey fan, so usually I just get like a couple slices of dark meat and then cover it with other stuff to just get through it, Yeah. But turkey was okay. Nothing like unusual. Just your classic. There was like a pie. There was, they had 2 different types of cranberry sauce. Some stuffing.
Was it like a crunchy sauce? Like one with the cranberries still in it?
Yeah.
And then a regular one?
Just right out of the can. Yeah. There's the canned one
shit.
that they slice up like bread, and then the other one that's had the cranberries in it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I ate a good bit of that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And it was chill. And then we went to our other family's house and we did dessert.
Nice.
And
what was for dessert?
a lot of different pies.
Yeah.
Apple pie. We ended up taking the apple pie home. Pumpkin. A lot of different cookies.
I have pumpkin pie on the counter that probably needs to be thrown out after tonight. So if you want any of that, you're more than welcome to take a slice.
I bought take a little sliver.
Yeah, we went to... For us, we went out to eat. We went to some seafood place.
Okay.
And... that was pretty good. They had a Thanksgiving menu, but it was garbage. Like, when I was looking at the regular menu, and it was fine. I mean, like, everybody else who has a normal palate and doesn't have Crohn's was fine with what they were eating, but, like, I'm never usually a fan of, like, seasonal menus when the restaurant is known for their seafood. Like, they had mashed potatoes and turkey and stuff like that.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want that. They also had a grilled fish dish with like cheese and broccoli, and like, I'm not a big cheese and fish person.
Yeah, that is a weird.
So especially like Parmesan is one thing. Like, I love seared scallops with, like, some breadcrumbs and, like, Parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
When you start putting, like, yellow cheese...
Yeah, like cheddar.
Yeah.
Like melted cheddar on the fish. Yeah.
Into a fish. That just ekes me out. Like, I went to a fish taco place a long time ago for, like, around my brother's wedding. We all went to, like, a seafood dinner as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they had fish tacos, and they put, like, shredded just fucking Mexican cheese on it. I was like, this is atrocious.
Yeah, they're just like, well, it's a taco. It's like, no, it's a fish taco, though.
Right, I want fresh pico, not a pound of cheese.
Right.
But I got a fried cod sandwich that was pretty banging. It was just, like, a really fresh white fish fried sandwich that was nice. And then, they had fish tacos there that were pretty good. That was like a ahi tuna fish taco thing.
Oh, word.
That was pretty good. But that was It was fun. We were there for a few hours. Kyle and I had a couple of drinks, and then we went and smoked a Thanksgiving joint, and then
Nice.
went home. And then I napped all of that off because I ate a lot. It felt like.
Heck yeah.
I felt there. I had like we ate sushi the day before too, and like I got rice has been fucking me up lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I could always eat like a little bit of rice, but like I ate a couple of rolls, and it was like I had just horrible gas for a couple of days. Not like I was farting, but like you just feel like a lava lamp is like my best example.
Yeah, you're
of
just
it.
like, yeah.
It's like it won't go anywhere. So I had to deal with that. And my way of dealing with that is just sleeping a lot. Just sleep it off.
Yeah. It'll just naturally come out that way, you know?
Yeah, but I bought a whole bunch of stuff for Thanksgiving alone that I never ended up having. So there's like a ham in the fridge that I need to throw on the grill. I mean, it's already a smoked ham and stuff. I was just gonna throw it on the grill to put some heat on it. So there's that. There's the majority of that pumpkin pie left because I took it out of the freezer the day after Thanksgiving, or no, it was even longer than that. It might have even been like the day after Black Friday.
It's only like a week.
Yeah, so maybe not even that long. It was in the fridge. It went from the freezer to the fridge. And I was like, it needs to go on the counter because if it's not on the counter, I'm not gonna eat it.
Right. Yeah. You're not gonna see out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a cheesecake in the fridge as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Caked
it's a
up.
little tiny one.
Caked up.
Yeah. But Thanksgiving was fine. Other than that, it was a pretty lazy week. I didn't work much. I did a lot of Pokemon stuff. So the Pokemon store has a bunch of new stuff. I did that a lot, but the pizza place was dead, so
Yeah.
didn't go into work. My phone, I plugged in my phone Thanksgiving night, and it fried the cellular chip or whatever, the receiver in the phone.
Oh no.
So I couldn't receive calls or text messages, and I could iMessage people, but I couldn't use the Wi-Fi to call people like I normally would either. So yeah, I had to deal with that, and because of that, I just ended up getting a new phone. It was gonna be like $100 to replace my phone, and I had an iPhone 11, which is $100 to get a new one.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't want to pay $100 of a deductible of insurance because that's just the price of the phone in general. So that's not even a deductible at that point. I'm just buying a new phone.
Right.
So I might as well just get a new phone.
You might as well, yeah. It's the same. Yeah, if it's the same, you might as well.
I went from an 11 to a 14, which is pretty nice.
Cool,
yeah. I don't have a case for it. I'm rocking that no case life now. Because that's just how I roll. I mean, I've only ever had like a rubber backing on it. I've never had like a full case.
I usually even this phone's just like the rubber part right here. I mean, it has this, but it doesn't have like a glass. There's nothing on the front that'll keep it like safe.
Yeah, that's all of that. I don't like rubber on my phones because I don't like the way it feels in like pockets.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then pop sockets suck because it's another thing just stabbing me in the leg when I'm like bending. I have like so many inconveniences with like cases that I just stopped getting them for a long time. And when I did have them, it was like, I mean, I had that rubber one for a little bit, which is just like the regular basic $5 rubber. It wasn't real rubber, but it was like soft plastic,
like that
basically.
silicone.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was smooth, so it wouldn't like catch on anything, which is what I hate. But I have like wood cases and stuff like that. I like those kinds of cases, so I might get like a maple case or something like that. Or
just something just to protect the edges. You know?
Yeah, I had a stone case for a long time.
That's
too.
pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen those.
Yeah, it was marble. The inside was acrylic, but the outside was marble, which that was really nice. But that was an expensive case, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that again. But then I was looking at cases at the store anyways, and I was like, a screen protector for the phone without the case was still $50, and I was like, that's stupid.
That's a lot, yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I like a very simple case. Not super, like, something like this. And then even the pop socket, like you said, it is a pain in the butt. I didn't realize it when I got it that it would be so annoying, but
right.
I mean, it's helped me as well, so, like,
it's
like whatever.
The pop sockets that I would think about getting is the ones that, like, pop out even more and, like, make a stand for your phone almost, so you can, like, tilt it.
Those
and
I
stuff.
like way better, yeah. And it's, I feel like the pop socket came out, like, the pop socket walked so all these other things could run, you know, like, there's way better options now on the back of your phone. In some cases just come with it now, which is even better.
Yeah. The pros and cons, like, I don't know. I've definitely thought about it, of, like, I wanted one of those metal ones that you could, like, slide into your car dashboard.
Yeah.
Those always
cool.
look cool. I don't know. The inconvenience factor, especially when I don't skate anymore, but when I was skating heavily, like, you'd, like, bend down and do a trick or something, and that was, like...
Yeah. My phone literally popped out of my pocket yesterday because it only goes in so far because of this. Usually I just put it in my jacket pocket or I hold it.
Yeah. I put because I wear a lot of hoodies, I put it in the kangaroo pouch, but I've stopped doing that because I use no case.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the worst pocket ever.
Oh, and when there's no case, it just slips right out.
Yeah.
And you don't even notice because it's so light.
Yeah, and there's a couple of, like, my windbreakers and stuff that have those pockets that they can zip up.
Yeah.
So I'll think I'm wearing one of those jackets, then just not even realize, oh shit, now my phone's on the ground.
Mm-hmm. That's literally what happened to me last night. I was crossing a street in one of those roundabouts, and I was like getting across really fast, you know, because there's cars always coming in, and I just hear like a big plop, and I turned around and my phone's like halfway back in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Oh my god, I thought and literally like 3 people on the side of the road were like, run! Like,
that's like my worst
grab
nightmare.
it. I was freaking out, because if it got crushed, that would have been it, dude.
Yeah.
Case or not, like,
right.
Case ain't gonna stop a car.
Right.
At least not that one. It's not one of them cases.
Yeah. I thought about the case. I only had to pay the taxes on the phone when I started the plan. So,
nice.
like, basically, it was like $50 or whatever. So, I don't want to spend any extra money on top of that, because I didn't have to get the phone. But the plan that I started was not the plan that I wanted. So, I got to figure out that. Because I wanted, like, the $60 plan, and they gave me the $100-something plan.
Oh, wow.
When I wasn't looking.
Difference.
Yeah, so my first phone bill was, like, $40 more expensive, and I'm like, that's not what I need.
Yeah, for what? What's the additional cost give you?
Like, calls in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
In
cool.
Canada.
Well, I mean, try to take advantage of it. Call.
No, it's so if I'm in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can't call into Mexico.
Yeah, I can call anybody in the world if I'm in America.
All right, we'll take a trip to Mexico real quick.
Yeah, let me drive to Canada or Mexico and go use my 15 gigs or whatever.
Jewel in Canada or whatever.
It's so stupid.
Justin Bieber.
There's that. I think Netflix is free with it.
Okay.
I have a family account. There's 6 of us, so you just all
that is
share
kind
that.
of a cool deal. I don't think I've ever heard of that, like a phone deal, Netflix combo thing.
Yeah, I have T-Mobile. I don't know what else it was like that, and then they give you a whole bunch of trial shit to make it look pretty. So it's like you get your free 3 months of Apple Music.
Mm-hmm. And there's like 15 apps you didn't download on there that you get to try.
Right. Like, I don't want any of this extra shit because in 3 months, so I'm still paying the $130. I'm not gonna have any of that.
Yep.
So the reason why that happened is in the middle of my phone being set up, the district manager was the one setting up my phone, asked me for an interview. So I took that interview and I got a job, and I will be starting in like 2 weeks.
Wow, that's the best phone purchase ever. Huh?
Yeah,
I've never...
and I'll have 75% off on my plan.
Wow, so maybe keep that extra.
Yeah, but then I'm still not going to have it in 3 months, and I'll still be paying more money.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
I'm
true.
like, I don't want it. I don't need to go to Mexico.
But
maybe one day.
But now that you work there, you can just kind of take care of it yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You could just...
Right, yeah. I don't know what the legality of that is. Can you change your own plan?
Oh, yeah,
and
maybe.
Stuff like that. Because,
that's true.
Yeah, every retail place I've worked at, you can't even, like, check yourself out at a register.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I can change my plan from my phone, but it won't let me downgrade. It will only let me upgrade.
That's dumb.
So, that's a stupid fucking thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was like, do you want to pay $20 extra? I'm like, no, I want to pay
we'll let
less
you
money.
choose to make... Well, yeah, we'll let you choose to spend more, but
Yeah.
you got to talk to a professional.
Right.
We got to make sure you really want to save money.
Yeah. So, I got to go do that eventually.
But that's cool. Job combo, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm just waiting on a background check, which, I mean, ooh, spooky now.
Yeah, as long as they don't find out about that one thing.
Yeah, right. No, I don't have anything hiding. I'm pretty online. If you wanted to Google me, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. No cancellations for this guy.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a couple of YouTube titles where I'm like, I probably should have put that, but whatever.
At the most, a faulty title, I'm sure won't give too much backlash.
Probably why my account's like shadow banned or something. It's like too many fucks or something in a title. Yeah, I'm excited to just have a full-time job again. I don't know. Maybe
especially a daytime job too, because that's...
Yeah, that's the big thing. It being a daytime job.
Like a 9 to 5 or something.
Yeah. They close at like, I think they close at 9 o'clock. So even if a late night isn't that late there.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's even 8. It's pretty early. But I mean, that's how most retail stores are. Like, fucking GameStop, dude. GameStop's like 12 p.m. to like 8 p.m. or whatever.
Oh wow, interesting.
It's and then Sunday's like 1 to 6 or something.
No
like
way.
That. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess GameStop isn't what it used to be.
No, it's sad.
Even compared to, yeah.
It's so sad. Like, I mean, even the shit that like they're known for shilling for, like all of the toys and pops and shit. Like all of that is sparse. Like,
yeah. I walked into one not too long ago, and it was just like. There was almost nothing in between the walls.
Yeah.
You know, like there was like all the shelves and then just like this like almost empty living room-ish type thing, you know, like one thing of pops or something. I was like, this is crazy.
And the like here they have stuff in the middle that would be racks of stuff usually. Mm-hmm. But instead it's just like a poster.
Right.
For like the next upcoming game digitally.
They just move something to fill the space. It's not even,
It's not. It'll be like 2 Pokemon plushies and like a giant like table that has like yellow on it or something, and that's it. That's the theme of today's GameStop. It's this yellow table with a Pikachu on it. But sometimes it feels like that yellow table is the only thing in there. I don't usually go in there for games nowadays. It's usually for Pokemon when they have deals and stuff like that. But their Pokemon selection's garbage.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, they have like one of each item. It's not like a plethora.
Like just enough to say they sell it.
Right. It'll be like, oh, we have Sword and Shield Darkness Ablaze packs. So then I'll go in there and there's like 2. It's like,
I guess technically you do have packs.
Yeah.
You do have plural, but...
What the fuck? What are you doing, man?
That is nuts.
I don't get it. And then, their physical game stuff is smaller and smaller every time I go in there. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is of like, we only now carry a certain amount of the library. We don't have the full library of games anymore. Right. Of like, I mean, we sell PlayStation 4 games, but we only sell like 100 of them now. Right. We don't sell the 2,600 games that
and
are
it's only like
in this library.
It's only like the last 100 that came out in the last 5 years
right.
or whatever. It's not even
Right. It's not fun to go in there because anything that I'm hunting for is not gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, GameStop is GameStop though. I mean, it's been heading that way for a long time, and as a fan of Game Informer, and all of those guys, like, I really wonder where that magazine is heading. That
might have to go straight digital.
I mean, they're mostly digital now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're primarily digital. I mean, they still make a lot of money from physical print. Like, you can go into a GameStop and buy, I think it's $7 for a Game Informer now. It used to be like $4. But I mean, they're the only ones doing that. Like, there's no other American publication that's putting out game magazines like that. There's a couple of European ones, I think. No, I was gonna say, I think EGM is still going. I don't think so. Maybe not. But there's definitely, print media is still bigger in other places than here, but it's still dying everywhere. So I wonder what's going to happen with those dudes. I don't think anybody's going to buy them. But it would be, that's definitely like their last bastion of hope, it feels like.
Right.
For GameStop is the Game Informer crew, and I mean, they weren't hit with layoffs this year, but they were hit with layoffs 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like, right. A lot of the Game Informer crew that I grew up with aren't there anymore.
Yeah, it's almost completely different.
Yeah, and then some people that did get laid off went back to Game Informer now. Like Kyle Hilliard from MinMax was just he was just a regular reviewer. Now he's like director of content for all of Game Informer or whatever, and it's his job back at Game Informer after he got laid off. Yeah.
Imagine that though, like walking back in, being like, "Yeah, now I'm the boss."
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I mean that's because Andy McNamara left 2 or 3 years ago, who created Game Informer.
Oh right, yeah.
And he went off to do like game dev shit. I think he's more on the PR side of things, but he works for EA now. Like doing public relations and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very interesting company. And they're always like bleeding executives too. I would not be surprised if a new CEO will be crowned GameStop CEO pretty soon.
Oh really?
Yeah. That seems like it's overdue for the next round of GameStop CEO.
Yeah, I had a buddy that worked at GameStop as a manager or something, assistant, something like that, some higher position. Yeah. And he would always make posts about like the insides of like what he hears,
Oh yeah.
Within the thing. But also a lot of posts about how it's just like going downhill compared to what it was 10 years ago or
right.
whatever,
When I was a shift lead 4 years ago, I mean, it was thriving then. But like you could still feel it in the air of like shit's changing.
Yeah,
like,
and then COVID fucking
COVID
kicked
killed
its butt pretty hardcore.
Yeah, because like when I was at GameStop, we still had our 3DS case and our DS case set up, and that was the DS games were like the most retro things in the store. But I mean, we had PlayStation 3 and 4, we had 360, Xbox One, and Series X started coming out. We had everything together, and then, COVID literally, like, gutted every store.
Yeah, well, they made it made it this, like, realization that, like, oh, we can just survive off of digital. You know, we don't need these physical stores, which sucks because we really do.
I mean, you can still buy all those games on their online store, but it's the used game thing of, like...
Right, yeah, it's the whole trade-in thing that really... Maybe they should just rebrand to that, like...
Yeah.
Focus more on that instead of the... I don't know.
Well, when you buy a used game from a place like GameStop, that doesn't do individualized, like... It's not like eBay, right? You can't see the picture of the game that you're buying.
Oh, okay.
It's a stock image of the
yeah.
game, and it's not guaranteed to come complete.
Yeah, you might not even get a case.
It's the disc.
Yeah, you literally get a disc.
You're only obligated to the game. So like games like Path of Radiance, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, that's on there. That's a $400 game, and you're paying full retail price that for what should be a complete copy. That's not guaranteed.
Right. Yeah, you really have to. At that point, you'd have to go through eBay or something.
Yeah. Like the manual for Path of Radiance. When I was at GameStop, and I was at a place called Old School. I was working at Old School. I had a Path of Radiance manual that I sold for $140.
Wow.
Just the manual.
That's crazy. Just so people know how to play the game.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I mean, people throw out the manuals. So like.
No, I mean, it was
rare.
more for collection. Yeah. But still, just imagine, like, when it was created, it was literally just like, all right, we made this so people know how to play the game. And now, all these years later, it's like $140.
Right. I can't speak to what's in that manual. I mean, all manuals definitely have that. But, like, manuals back then also used to be, like,
they had a lot of lore.
Story and lore.
There's a lot of lore. There's stuff in some manuals that you won't even find out in the game necessarily.
Right.
That kind of like piece things together and stuff. And yeah.
And the manual's expensive, and those are hard to find because so many people throw them away and stuff. But what's even harder to find is like the fucking other ancillary shit that comes in video games. Like, I didn't realize. I usually buy complete copies, but this one didn't. I guess I didn't buy complete, but like licensed games like this with like movie tickets inside of them or stuff like that.
Or like additional like maps or
or like seizure warning things. Yeah, additional maps. The little flyers for like
little
upcoming movies,
posters
and
stuff. Some of them come with little tokens and things.
Yeah. So like shit like that, especially for like Pokemon games and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll a piece of Pokemon paper that has like the game advertisement on it that's supposed to be in there. That's like $400.
Just so it's a complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might not even be. There's really no way necessarily to know exactly what was in a case. Because some of the things, they're not all...
It's not all documented.
Documented or displayed on the outside. Right. Like, sometimes you open it and it's like, oh, it comes with a coin or something. You know? Like,
I mean, there's plenty of games that I've had to sleuth because of just, like, dig through the internet to try to see if I have everything.
Right,
Especially for, like, I don't have it behind me right now, but Samurai Jack is one of my more expensive games. I mean, the Silent Hill ones, there's a Silent Hill PSP movie thing they did, and I had to dig online to make sure it didn't come with anything, because it's just, it didn't have a manual or anything. It's a UMD video, so it's like,
weird.
I don't know if this is technically... maybe it has like some DVD menu flyer or something, and no, it didn't. But it took me a long time to figure out that. I was like, please hold this item for me so I could go do some research real
Right.
quick.
Yeah. Let me make sure it's worth it.
Yeah. And I think even that UMD was like $60 or something. It was expensive. Silent Hill stuff's getting more and more expensive, and I have to buy all of it before the new shit comes out because it's gonna go up even further.
Yeah, it's gonna skyrocket after that.
Yeah, dude. Like, I need Shattered Memories for the Wii is the big one that I need to buy next. Because Shattered Memories for the PS2 is like $500, and the Wii version is $80.
Wow. Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, and Manhunt 2 behind me, that version was like $30, and the PS2 version's like $95.
Wow.
Yes, so I don't understand why, but
You think it'd be the other way around because Wii is rarer, right?
yeah, I don't know. Especially for a hard rated M Rockstar game.
Yeah.
You
think that would just be high in general?
Yeah, I don't know. This originally came out as an AO rating.
Yeah, wasn't it banned?
Yeah, it was banned.
I remember watching like videos on that on TV.
Yeah.
Like most banned game in America or some shit. Like, it was
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, the first one is another one where like I think I bought that for like $7 a couple years ago. It's like $60 now.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's crazy, yeah.
It's because it's backwards compatible.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Manhunt 1 is backward. Not Manhunt 2, because they never put it on Xbox. But Manhunt 1 for OG Xbox is back on a 360 or modern Xboxes.
That's
But
cool.
I had to start looking into that and start checking more of those off my list that I don't have, because those are all jumping up in price too.
Right.
All the weird license shit that I like to collect and stuff like that. Even PS4 stuff. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle PS4 games are stupid expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's because, like, all the new TMNT stuff that's been coming out.
Yeah, well, they're also licensed.
They're very relevant.
They're licensed. That means
Yeah.
you can't buy them digitally anymore.
True, yeah.
And that's the only way to get them. So, like, Mutants in Manhattan, which is a very bad game, it's like $60. And I was like, that wasn't $60 when it came out.
Right. This should never have seen $60.
Yeah. And I don't even think it was full price, let alone 60. Yeah, but it's also, I think Platinum made that game, which is Nier Automata, and they made that really bad Babylon's Fall. They did that last year. Platinum has a weird history of, like, they do some really good games and they have a few stinkers that are really bad. Mutants in Manhattan would be one of those. They did, like, a Legend of Korra game, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that people despise that game as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything good about that.
No. And then Babylon's Fall. But they're also, like, Nier and Bayonetta and Beautiful Joe from back in the day.
Oh, wow.
All of those games.
Sounds like they're willing to, like, risk it, though.
Yes.
Like, we know what we're doing. We'll take an L if we need to, yeah.
Right. Their biggest L was probably Scalebound, which Scalebound never came out.
Oh, wow.
That was supposed to be an Xbox One launch game where, like, it was a Devil May Cry like, but you're also, like, riding dragons and stuff like that.
Okay.
And there was a lot of trailers and a lot of buzz behind it, and then it just went dark, and then they canceled it. And they're like, it's not coming anymore.
Oh, damn.
And I think Bayonetta 3 has the majority to do with that, the development of that game, but people are a lot of people blame Xbox for it, with Xbox just pulling funding or whatever and not wanting, because it wasn't coming along. I think that was half the story. I think the other half is because Bayonetta 3 was taking too long for them.
Yeah.
And they were spreading themselves too thin with Bayonetta the Babylon, or not Babylon's Fall, that would have been way after, but maybe they were working on that at that point. Nier Automata as well. They were working on that. Nier Automata, Bayonetta 3, and Scalebound all at once. And that wasn't... I mean, they're always a 2-game studio, I guess, going simultaneously, but that's not a 3-4 game studio. They're not that big.
Right. They were just pushing it.
Yeah, they were pushing it hard. I worry about Remedy taking that same thing, but it seems like they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
It's like Alan Wake 2. I mean, Crossfire was a miss, but that wasn't their game. They were like guns for hire, basically, on that. Or like they were doing a single player campaign for Crossfire X or whatever.
Oh, would.
And that was real bad. But yeah, they were just like, I mean, they were more than support on it. They developed that game, but it's a single player campaign for a multiplayer Tarkov like shooter thing.
Oh, interesting.
But they did that, and then I mean, Control a couple of years ago, and they're working on a Max Payne 1 and 2 remake.
Oh, nice. It sounds like they got like a good groove though. They got like a good system to pump it out without getting too overwhelmed.
Right. I think people finally see that studio for what they are, and there's a lot more funding going to that studio. I mean, Alan Wake 2 is funded by Epic.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see there's a lot of money in that game.
I was going to say, yeah, after that game, I mean, that's definitely a huge, like, boost for them.
Yeah.
To just keep the progression going.
Right. I mean, they always they're always overly ambitious.
Yeah.
And whether that's to their detriment or not, I mean, it's hit or miss, but the last few times it's been pretty big swings and amazing hits.
Yeah.
But like they did like Quantum Break for the launch of Xbox, and that was a full one of their weird. It wasn't dark and scary like their other games like Max Payne was. It was definitely trippy and stuff, but you would play 40 minutes of game or whatever, and then you watch 40 minutes of a TV show in the middle of it, and you would have like this live action TV show going with all of the actors and stuff, as well as the gameplay, and they all like tied into each other.
That's pretty cool.
Right, and it's a neat idea, especially because they are so good at mixing it. But I mean, it was the launch of the Xbox One. Xbox One was pushing TV hard, and it just wasn't written as well. I mean, it was written fine, but it was written well for a video game, and then you get those characters and actors acting those characters outside of the video game. It starts to become weird and uncanny.
Yeah. And
it became a lot of that, where it's just like The Room almost.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of like like Twin Peaks.
Yes, but without being intentionally Twin Peaks. Like,
oh, okay.
Their other stuff is intentionally Twin Peaks, for sure.
Yeah.
Quantum Break is not.
No, okay.
Quantum Break is definitely playing in that world a lot. There's a lot of like weird time fractal stuff and like breaking, quantum physics and like traveling through wormholes and shit. There's a lot of that, but everything's stilted unpurposely, it seems like. But Alan Wake 2 has that as well, where like you can tell when they're intentionally doing the Twin Peaks thing, and then when it flips, where like, oh, this is definitely a Finnish dude mimicking an American, so it's coming off a little bit weird because of that.
Right.
And not because of them trying to be intentionally weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to watch some of that. I don't think I've ever played it.
Quantum Break 2 is super interesting to go back
watch
to
it
now, because there's a lot of Alan Wake 2 stuff in it. Way before Alan Wake 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm still watching now. I've only watched like the first hour or so of that game.
Yeah. I think Giant Bomb's done like 7 hours now.
I'm probably gonna end up watching Kyle play.
Yeah.
The rest of it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Kyle Bossman, he did 2 hours one day, and then did like 7 or 8 hours the next day.
Did he finish the game?
No, he hasn't finished. It's like a 20-hour game.
Oh,
it's
well, I mean,
long.
that's still plenty of time. I wouldn't even get up through all that today.
Yeah.
But still.
I think he said he's gonna do one more stream of it before the Game Awards, or he's going to try to. But I mean, the Game Awards are next week, and
right, and he does a lot of different stuff.
Right. I mean, he's like, he's a writer producer, and then he's like Jeff Keighley's right hand, from what I know.
Oh yeah.
At the show, like making sure guests are good to go on stage and everything like that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's talked about, he's like the one time he ever does real work.
He's
a year.
heavily involved in that. Yeah.
I mean, Jeff is like the reason why the Allies exist and everything like that. Like, I mean, Jeff was such a big part of game trailers, and like the reason why Final Boss, when we were watching a minute ago, exists is because Jeff Keighley was like, hey, this personal assistant should be on camera. And so, I mean,
That's true.
I guess Kyle feels like he probably owes Jeff that career.
I mean, in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but also that opportunity is amazing. That sounds like so much fun to work that event.
it does, yeah. Getting to like meet all the people behind everything, and yeah.
I mean, you're definitely keeping it professional all the time, but you're like geeking out in the back of your head. You're
right.
like, oh, that's fucking Kojima. Or,
Yeah.
That's Todd Howard.
Because it's one of those events where like everyone's kind of in the same like realm, like mind space, you know, like we're all just trying to have fun and play video games.
Right.
You know, it's not like I wouldn't care about working behind the scenes at like the Grammys or something. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of actors, but they're so different, you know, like every personality. We're like, yeah, the gamers are the same way, but we all just want to play games, you know,
Right.
like we're all...
Everybody's there to celebrate this one thing.
Exactly, right.
And the Oscars,
And
everybody's
it's creatives. The creatives are what, yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely what I enjoy. I mean, the creatives, it's weird. There's a weird dichotomy of like the award portion of the show and the reveal portion of the show. Or like it's becoming less and less about the awards and more about the trailers.
What's coming up, and yeah.
And I love the trailer show. That's why I watch it and everything like that. If it was just 3 hours of awards, I wouldn't be watching it. For sure. There's plenty. The DICE Awards happen every year. The Golden Joystick Awards. I'm not watching those normally.
Right, yeah.
I love looking at all the winners.
Yeah,
But
you can just do that in like 20 minutes.
Right.
You can have a recap. You don't have to see every speech and
Yeah.
them walking onto the stage crying and whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, those shows are definitely more for the audience that are there. Jeff Keighley's show is for the audience around the world, and has been like that since the Spike TV days, and it's been like that for a long, long time. But like, I mean, half the awards now are given out in the pre-show. Like,
That's true, yeah.
There's a 30-minute pre-show that Kyle Bossman usually hosts or whatever. Or I forgot the girl's name. If it's not Kyle, it's this one girl who always does it. I forgot her name, but she's been the person like every year. But it'll be here's a trailer, and then in between the trailers it'll be like, oh, and now here's Ben, whatever his name was, from Marvel Snap, accepting the best mobile game of the year award, or best ongoing game of the year award,
Right.
or whatever. That there was that. I forgot what other major award was. Maybe best RPG was announced during the pre-show as well, or something like that. There was a couple of ones where I was like, that's like a main category,
Right, yeah.
that we're putting up. Like, the esports stuff is all in the pre-show as well. Like, all of the...
Yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of a niche.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, okay, well, FaZe Clan or Cloud9 or whatever. All those people and all those awards. Evo will probably win the best tournament or whatever this year, and that will be in the pre-show. Yeah, all of that stuff's in the pre-show. But yeah, like best RPG, best action adventure game, like best family game.
Yeah, those are like major, like fully encompassing categories that should be
that should be celebrated on stage. And this year they talked about that. I guess one of the bigger things of news is that we've talked about it, that they're beefing up security, which they should have done in the last event that they had this year.
Right. Yeah, someone ran on stage and
right.
stuff. Yeah.
That was opening night live. That was like, was that opening night live? That might have been. No, that was definitely opening night live because Summer Games Fest isn't open to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, once is a holy shit, that's scary, but let's make sure that never happens again. Twice is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, definitely.
And just like, thank you for being concerned about our safety. We're definitely, fixing it and stuff, but like, I don't think anybody's going to be walking on stage this year. Period. Like,
oh, really?
I would be surprised if anybody gets up from the crowd and walks up on stage.
Like, even to accept an award?
Yeah. There's no way after twice in a year's time of getting ran up on stage, having somebody come from the crowd to the stage when the public is there is not a good idea.
Unless they like have them separate, like all the public in the back rows or something.
Right. Right. And I guess that would be on Jeff, but then you have like +1s and shit like that.
That's
and all
true.
That kind of
there's so
weird
much
stuff.
to consider.
So I'd imagine like the people who are winning awards already know that they're going to be winning an award, and that will be part of the rehearsal. Is that those people are going to come up from behind the stage.
I was gonna say they'll just have them in the back or whatever.
And a lot of that will be a lot more curated. I'd imagine, they don't want another 8-minute speech. That was another thing last year of like the dude from God of War gave a great speech, but it was 8 minutes long.
Right, and they have a time.
Yeah, and that was the first speech of the night. It was the best actor award or whatever.
Well, when you're the best actor, you got to give a hearty speech.
Right, and he didn't win the first year, so it was like,
oh really?
Yeah, he didn't win for the first game.
Interesting.
I think that was Red Dead that year.
Oh, okay.
It was Arthur Morgan.
I think I still would have gave it a God of War.
Yeah. Well, he got it this year for both games basically.
Oh, nice.
Gave the speech long enough equivalent for the whole series.
He's like, I made up for last time too.
Yeah.
This would have been 2 4-minute speeches, but
yeah. So I wonder. I'd imagine that it'll be a lot more tighter in that range too. I mean, let people speak, of course, but like they did nothing to stop.
I was gonna say there should be some sort of like they got to give him a light or cut his mic or drop a platform or something.
They did start playing music in the middle of his speech, like lowly underneath it, but then it just amped him up even more. It was like, this is the moment, man. Everybody's feeling it. This music's vibes now.
It's like the inspiration he needed.
Yeah, it's a crazy speech. It's funny as hell. It would be fun to go back. Not Game Awards so much, because those are such behemoths of shows. Maybe like 1 or 2 of them. But like watching old E3s and stuff, I find so much joy out of.
Yeah.
Like it would be a lot of fun maybe to have like a viewing party one day of like a couple of the big ones, like Konami 2010 or Sony 2006. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, a lot of the E3 of Dreams, which was 2013, I want to say, the PS4 announcement, where they also reveal Shenmue 3, The Last Guardian, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. And,
wow.
Yeah.
That was a year, yeah.
That's a huge year.
That's crazy.
And the reveal of the PS4. Yeah, that was 2013. That's a good conference right there. Xbox has had a lot of bangers, but a lot of them aren't memorable, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I rarely ever come out of one of the Xbox shows feeling bummed out, but I couldn't tell you the
Not
majority of the Xbox
entertained stuff. Necessarily, just like excited, I guess.
Yeah, well, they're always full of hype, and I'm definitely entertained through them. Like Xbox has good pacing for the most part in their shows.
Yeah.
Their last like little direct thing that they did was ass, but like their live shows are usually pretty good. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you like a memorable thing from any of them. There was one time, it's probably the most memorable thing was, I think it was 2019. The Cyberpunk reveal trailer.
Oh, right.
Their one more thing. They ended the show and everything like that, and then all of the screens and stuff started like blinking red and like glitching out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it turned into that, and yeah, that was a huge one. But other than that, I couldn't think of anything else specifically from the Xbox thing. The reveal of Peggle 2 is the big one.
Peggle 2?
I don't know if that was I don't know if that was Xbox. That would make sense if it was Xbox, but that could have been an EA event.
Yeah.
But the dude just comes up on stage and he's like, Peggle! Yeah! And gives a little jump and a thing, and that's the only thing he says about the game, and walks off. And then they start the trailer for Peggle 2. And
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the best way. That's just how we should do it from now on for all the games.
Right. But I wouldn't be able to tell you which Xbox event that was, or if it was at an Xbox event at all. It could have been EA, because it's an EA game as well.
That's great, though.
EA ones are always bad. There's so many bad EA ones. Oh my god.
Really?
Oh, yeah, like Hoop God is a good one where they like to have MCs come out and talk about like Madden and shit like that.
Right.
And those are always pretty funny because you get people like Hoop God or Mr. Caffeine and stuff like that, and they're just one-hit wonders. You never see them again. Really never hear of them.
That game really quick, yeah.
Yeah. They're usually not a real person. They're usually a name given, and then a ghost social media account will be created right before the show.
Right.
And
so you can tweet at them later.
Right, and then they just disappear off the face of the earth a week later. And
no questions asked.
Well, there's usually a lot of questions asked.
Oh,
like, why the fuck did they think Mr. Caffeine was a good idea?
Why did we create this character for just this?
Yeah.
With no
Who is the Hoop God?
Yeah.
It's so dumb. But then they had like 1 year. Another fun thing is always when a CEO comes up on stage to demo a game. Like they had fucking what's his face from EA come up on stage 1 year and demo PGA Tour golf, and it just wouldn't work. I think it was the Connect year.
Oh,
it just like wouldn't work. It wouldn't track his movement at all.
That's so good.
It was like 6 minutes or so of him just vamping, trying to get this thing to work.
It's a great game, I promise, guys.
Yeah, he just talked about his like golf stroke for 6 minutes or whatever, and he's like visibly getting more flustered and angry, but trying to keep the same monotone look. He's like, his forehead's just getting red and sweaty. I think he undoes his sleeves at one point.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many good ones like that. Miyamoto for the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword reveal, where they reveal the Wii Motion Plus for the first time, and wherever you swing the sword in real life, Link will swing the sword, and Miyamoto's just getting visibly pissed off trying to swing the thing, and Link is just not doing it at all.
That's so good.
Or he'll move like a slight inch and not move the sword, and Miyamoto will be like, "What the fuck?" Oh, just visibly getting mad. I've never seen Miyamoto get mad before, other than that moment. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's very embarrassing with all the...
Oh yeah, dude, that's so scary. That's horrifying. Demoing a game for the first time and having it be live in front of thousands of people is scary. Those old E3... When we do look back at, like, E3... Sony 2006 or whatever... they had... It looks like a fucking server rack, but it's just all of the dev kits for these games.
Oh, really?
And they're just plugging in the dev kits into an HDMI thing and hoping that it works. And
wow,
it's like a rack of like 20 dev kits, and they all have like a piece of paper taped to them with the name,
with what it is.
Yeah, and a controller on top of it. And like, yeah, who knows if the game's gonna play? Who knows if the controller's gonna sync to the dev kit? Who knows if this controller's gonna be synced to the right dev kit? Just like, there's so much shit that can go wrong.
And if they're stacked like that, they could like overheat another one or whatever.
Right. Yeah. They're extremely delicate machines. They're not supposed to be moved around like that.
Right, because they're temporary.
Yeah.
None of them are like,
Yeah, a lot of them aren't encased. A lot of them are just like motherboards out
just
in the
mechanics,
open. Yeah, and have like an HDMI plug-in.
Just saran wrap to keep the dust out. Yeah.
Basically, man, like they're like giant Raspberry Pis. And yeah, it's scary as hell. They did like a bunch of live demos in E3 2006. I want to say every single one was live. They got them all to work.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that it worked, because there's so many instances of like that shit not working at all. The Uncharted reveal, I think it was Uncharted 3. Maybe it was Uncharted 4. It would make sense if it was 4. It was a live demo, and they had to restart it like 3 times. They couldn't get to get past the opening load screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It wouldn't load into the initial cutscene to start the thing. That's scary as fuck.
That's not a good look.
Yeah. Borderlands is another good one of like not being able to ever get their shit to work properly.
Really?
Every single time Gearbox has an event and they do a Borderlands reveal, it never goes right.
That's funny.
Almost never. And there was one year it just didn't work, and they didn't have a plan B. So Randy Pitchford did magic tricks on stage for 30 minutes.
No way. 30 minutes? He had 30 minutes of magic tricks just set?
Yeah,
dude. It's
like,
all right, here we go.
Bringing up people
This
on
is my
stage.
chance.
Yeah. That was I don't think that was E3 proper. That might have been like Gamescom adjacent, but it was like their specific show at Gamescom.
Crazy.
It was pretty gnarly. It's funny as hell.
I can't even imagine. What did he do? Like card tricks or something? He had props?
Dude. Yeah, card tricks. He bring up people on stage and like pull something out of their ear. Like shit like that.
What does this have to do with Borderlands? Nothing. Is this your card?
Yeah, right.
That one I have to see. That's really funny, to be honest.
Funny as hell. We can watch that after the podcast. I don't have the laptop hooked up, so.
Oh, right, yeah.
Can't do any capture today. I thought about it. I was like, we don't have anything to watch, so I could play B-roll of my Let's Plays. But
yeah, and that's why we're talking about this stuff, because nothing really happened this week.
Yeah, I played some of Meet the Robinsons. That was the one game that I did play. There's nothing really much to say about it other than it's a 3D platformer. It is made by Avalanche Software, which is the people that made that Toy Story 3 game and the Disney Infinity. people. But it's definitely not as good as their later games, like, for sure. Like, there's definitely, you could definitely see the pieces of that game would go into Toy Story 3. But Toy Story 3 just feels so much better to play.
Yeah.
Just, like, it's so much more fluid and stuff. But yeah, it's just a short little license game that didn't really do much outside of the box, that was probably awesome. Really, they kept very close to the movie. Because Toy Story 3, like, the main campaign is pretty close to the movie, but then there's the whole toy box mode.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of, like, other stuff.
Yeah, there's, like, the whole open world building the town thing and, like, doing quests and stuff, and I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more to that, but no.
Yeah.
No. I think I did 3 episodes, so I should have maybe an episode or 2 left of doing that. But yeah, how long did we get? Said 4.5 hours, and I got like 3 hours in. So I don't know. I'll finish that, and then I'll move on to something else. I was thinking about trying to play something earlier today. I woke up super early. I woke up at like 6, and I was like,
wow.
I don't know why I'm awake, but I am. I might play something later, just to make the day go by faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I may play something between now and my show later.
Yeah. Now looking back behind me, I forgot Resident Evil 2. That's waiting for me. I did 1 episode of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I never went back to it. So meet the Robinsons real quick today, and then start banging through that.
Nice.
At least get through the Leon playthrough first. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of games. I'm always playing Pokemon Go.
Right.
But that's nothing. I just catch a few Pokemon here and there.
Yeah, that's true. It's nothing too...
I don't watch anything. I watch a lot of podcasts and stuff, and yeah. Did I see any... I didn't watch a full gameplay through, but I did watch more Alan Wake, but once you see more of that game, we'll talk about it more.
Right.
Because there's a lot of really cool stuff that is surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when's the next time we'll have the podcast. I guess
Yeah,
Friday
all the holidays
of next
and stuff
week.
are popping up.
Friday of next week would be the next podcast, because Thursday night is the Game Awards. So we don't want to do a podcast and have it be completely outdated. So we won't do our normal Thursday recording.
I mean,
and
if
then
you're
you
off...
also have a big show Thursday as well.
Yeah, here, up the road.
Right. So...
But Friday, if we're both off Friday, we could just do it during the awards.
Well, Friday we can do it. Friday, the awards are Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it was Friday. Oh, today's
December
Friday.
7th.
That's right. Yeah. We
today's
thought it was
Friday.
today, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be last night. Because I was skipping a week in my head. But, no, it's next Thursday.
Right.
So...
Okay, yeah, so that's perfect. Yeah, so then Friday, I mean, I'm off, so then...
Right. And then ideally GTA 6 will also be revealed.
By then, yeah, hopefully.
Who knows if that's a Game Awards thing or if they're doing it on their own volition. I'd imagine it's Rockstar just is going to release it on their own thing.
Yeah.
Rockstar knows that GTA 6 is one of those things that no matter where they release that trailer, it's going to swallow all the conversation
Instantly,
up in the room.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be everywhere in minutes.
And,
when
like,
they drop in.
Everybody wants to celebrate games that they gave awards, but I think Keely knows that as big of a getting Rockstar would be for the GTA 6 reveal trailer, I don't think you want that there and take up the rest of the show.
Yeah, unless you dropped it like at the very end.
Right. But then are people are people gonna start storming the stage again to protest for GTA 6 like they did at opening night live for some weird reason?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where that's going to fit in within the next week. Like, I really don't know what Rockstar's plan is with that. Like, I know their 25th anniversary is December. I don't know what day in December, but they said beginning of December and didn't give a hard date. I don't know. And then, what are they going to reveal? Are we going to get, like, just a teaser? Are we going to get the full 10-minute, this is Vice City trailer that we would usually get for one of their games?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it going to be a teaser trailer and then a poster? That's what they did for, I'm pretty sure Red Dead 2 was revealed that way. It was like, Red Dead 2 is confirmed, here's the poster, and then they gave a teaser trailer out, and they were like, more details later. And then the next trailer was this is Red Dead Redemption 2 and the town of blah blah blah, and it was like the lady talking for 10 minutes or whatever. I'd imagine that's now that especially after the Giga leak or whatever that you want to call it, like, I don't know what you would tease that we don't know.
Well, all the smaller stuff maybe.
Right, because as far as we know, it is a modern Vice City. And it is a Bonnie and Clyde story.
Right.
Where it's a female and a male character. And other than that, outside of the leaks, that's all we know, and none of that is confirmed. Like, we still don't know if it's in Vice City yet, technically. Even though the leaks have basically confirmed. Rockstar's never completely said, this is Vice City. It could be Vice City adjacent, and Vice City is just a part of it.
Right. Yeah, because other towns could look similar, you know.
Right. And a map leaked recently that seems pretty credible, and Vice City is very small portion of that map.
Oh, well, that's cool, though.
Yeah, it's like the corner bottom city of the map, and then there's all of, like, I mean, I don't know how far out it would be, but, like, I mean, it's straight up all of Florida.
Oh, wow.
It's like what they're
crazy.
Going for. Like, Florida Man is the satire that they're going for.
Yeah. Florida's huge.
Yeah. And I get that makes sense on why, like, after all of, like, the basalts and shit, like, there's so many Florida Man stories that, like, everybody's so worried about, oh, they can't satire anything because they satire that they do, it's all real now. Florida Man, they can still get some funny ass shit out of or whatever.
That's true,
do some crazy ass shit.
That's true. And there's just so many different, like, cultures and stuff down there too.
Right.
There's a lot of different. Right. Exactly. There's a lot of different. Yeah, biomes. That's
Yeah. You have the Keys. The Florida Keys are part of the map. That's part of the leaked map. So yeah, you have the Keys. You have the fucking swamplands and the alligators and shit. You have Orlando. You have Miami.
Right.
Jackson City, like. Or Jacksonville. Is it Jacksonville or Jackson City?
And you can take a boat all the way around it.
Right. I mean, they have there's a lot of lakes and stuff like that.
That would be pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd love to go visit my hometown in a video game.
Right. I mean, that's always cool. For sure. Whenever a town would go to San Diego, or whenever a game goes to San Diego, I have that same feeling.
That's how I felt when I played GTA 5 for, like, so long here in Connecticut. And then I moved to California, and I was like, oh, this is in the game. This place, I've been here in the game.
Yeah. I'm not going to bring it up and just in case if it's real and we get sniped or something like that. But that's the map. That's Vice City.
Oh, so it's like the lower head of Florida.
Yeah. And then there's all of that out there, too.
Oh, yeah, because that's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
So it's just southern Florida, not all of Florida.
Yeah, so you got, like, Tampa and stuff. And this is still one... This could only be one map.
That's true.
We don't know how much of this is. This is one. This is a leak, and it's not. I don't know who leaked it. But people are reporting on it like it's real.
Man, if it is real though, guaranteed there's gonna be aliens. Bermuda Triangle stuff. That's gonna be a huge thing.
There's aliens in 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's only gonna carry over if it doesn't even get more extreme.
Yeah,
especially with the triangle shit they're fucking with.
Yeah, I think they're gonna start doubling down on more of that. I mean, Red Dead 2 doubled down a lot of that. Like, as much as I hate
really
Red
weird,
Dead 2, like, there's a lot of cool stuff hidden in that game. Yeah, they get real weird. The fucking mad scientist with the killer robot at the top of the map, the vampire, and Saint Denis, the fucking all of the different like hidden hats and stuff you can find, like the pirate ship and the Viking helmet, the ghost horse. Like, there's a bunch of weird, crazy shit in that game, and they're really good at doing that. GTA 5 has the sewer monster and like Sasquatch, and it's had alien stuff.
Had Texas Chainsaw.
Yep. Yeah, the serial killers. There's a lot of cool hidden stuff in that.
Yeah, tons of alien Easter eggs and.
Yeah, they're calling it Project Americas though.
Oh, okay.
So, from what it sounds like to me, is that this is one part of America.
Yeah, and that they're gonna slowly piece together.
Yeah.
Maybe
some of the
like
more
a continuous
cities.
story, or at least just like.
I don't think it would be continuous. I don't think they'll do a full open world around it, but I think. And maybe I don't know. That seems too ambitious, but I could see them linking the 3 major metropolitan GTA cities together.
It's just hard because because Florida's the opposite end of California.
Right. So you have California,
so
San
you have
Andreas,
to do like
and then
a
you
plane.
have New York as well for Liberty City.
Oh, Liberty City, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have London as well. I mean, the first one is London.
Right.
So you could do that too. I'm surprised they never went back to the UK. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is so centered around now American culture, but I'm surprised they never tried to at least do something like that.
I thought the newest one was gonna go back, to be honest. I always only at first. Eventually, I was like, oh,
yeah,
no, they're definitely gonna. But when they first started talking about it, I was like, oh, they might go back to like England or something, like because it's like it's small enough, it's like big enough that they could do a bigger map, but small enough that you can still do like
and it's just something they've talked a lot about trying new things, and they just felt like they haven't.
And like, wouldn't it be cool to like play a video game where you have to drive on the left the whole time?
No, I drive the right way.
But I mean, that just would be like a whole extra challenge. It's like, now I gotta play a video game and I gotta relearn how to drive.
For sure. No, totally. I mean, it's Grand Theft Auto, so I just drive on the sidewalks. I mean,
that's true. It's not like I obey traffic laws or whatever, but.
Was it Mafia? I think it's the
would be
Mafia games that you have to obey traffic laws.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't blow stoplights and stuff like that.
That's funny.
I think LA Noire as well has that.
Oh
option.
Yeah, I do remember that, LA Noire.
Yeah, Mafia 2. If you drive too fast, you start getting cops on you.
That's pretty cool. I mean, sometimes I will just go on and play like especially with Driver. I'd heavily play legal Driver, where I just obey every traffic law.
It's Grand Theft Auto. There's servers for that. Like RP servers are just huge, and that's part of the RP life. Is like
I follow those sometimes.
Obeying traffic laws.
I'll watch those sometimes, especially like the cops ones.
Yeah.
People pretend they're cops on there, and I'm like, wow, these guys are really into this.
And that's another interesting part of the development of GTA 6 is that the people who made those RP servers were bought out by Rockstar to be working on this next iteration of GTA Online.
That's awesome.
How in depth they will go with the RP stuff, I don't know. Will they bring that up to also the single player? Because, I mean, a lot of that stuff is for just, I mean, it's to do it with everyone, but, like, I mean, the stories are so well told in their games. Like, they could do a lot with you playing as a cop or you playing as an ambulance driver
taxi
or whatever.
driver or something.
Yeah, and when you're spending, I mean, fuck, dude, it's been over 10 years now. It'll be over 10 years by the time GTA 4 comes out. It'll be over 12 years.
GTA 6?
GTA 6, right. Yeah, it'll be over 12 years by the time that GTA 6 comes out.
Right.
From GTA 5.
And GTA 5 will still be selling copies.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I don't know. I don't know what they could do to make it live up to the hype. But
just more mini games. More, it's probably going to be more about the little things,
honestly,
though, like the details, the tiny little, like, because that's what made, I think, that's what really boosted GTA 5 was just the more possibility, the more, not even the open world, but just the open possibilities of things.
Yeah.
Just being able to, like, just from something simple as arm wrestling,
right?
Know, like,
right, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, those stories are also just very.
Oh, the stories are amazing. Yeah,
they're very
absolutely.
good. I was hoping less of the minigame shit. Like,
yeah,
I want more of The Witcher and those kinds.
Yeah.
I like. We are past the point of ancillary side quests in RPGs now. Like,
right.
There's a standard. Like,
yeah.
Baldur's Gate is another example of that. Of like, everything you're doing has implications. Is maybe not to the whole grander scale of everything around you, but like is meaningful and your time isn't wasted.
Yeah.
And Grand Theft Auto has a lot of time wasting bullshit in it. That's just,
well, it kind of goes back to the whole like RP like it's it's a role playing,
right?
So like wasting time is kind of
part of the
role.
Yeah.
Like, you go out to the gym and work out for 3 hours just to
for sure. And like being able to play poker or whatever is fine, but then there's like there's quests tied to that shit.
Right.
Which is, I mean, that can be cool in its own right. But I'm thinking of like the RC car quests or like fucking was it Red Dead? Red Dead 2 has the horse chase and stuff like that. Like, there's certain things where they turn it too much into a mini game as well.
Oh yeah.
Which I think I think that they could do that better. I don't know. There's a lot of things that Rockstar specifically we talked about. I've especially Red Dead 2. I've beaten their game design down so hard.
Yeah.
A lot. But I'm expecting a lot from Grand Theft Auto like I was from Red Dead 2. I know I would probably be disappointed in it.
There's definitely going to be some, like, because they make those weird fucking, the gameplay and the menus and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll probably still be obnoxious.
Yeah, I can't wait to hold down R2, L1, and then click in the L3, and then get to another
the other
menu.
Stick, and then...
Yeah. Just so I can, like, put gas in my car.
Right.
Oh, fuck, dude. That shit is so annoying. There's that. But also, like, it's an open world game, and they don't make it open. That's, like, the biggest thing. I love... If you're giving me an open world game, open mission structure is such a essential part of it being open.
Yeah.
And none of their missions are open. Like, if you go down an alley off the road, you'll just mission fail.
Oh right, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Once you enter a mission, it becomes closed.
Yeah,
you can't.
the
It's
invisible walls go up,
and then it resets if you go too far or whatever. I hate that.
Right.
That's something I really hate. Like I don't mind if like I travel too far and then it's like you can't do this mission now because you're too far. But I'm
Right.
still allowed to just keep going.
Right.
But I hate it like like when in Rockstar when you just go too far and then it kills you or something and it like you have to go through this whole 20-second loading process to re-enter the world you were already in.
Right. Yeah. Red Dead. It was like, is the biggest example I bring up a lot is you're sniping, you're going to snipe this dude, and then a fight breaks out down below, so you got to run back down real quick, and then you get into a shootout, and you still have that sniper on you. So my thought is, well, I shot a few guys, but there's still a distance, so I'm gonna run back up and I'm gonna start sniping again.
Right.
You go to the ladder you were just at, it just mission fails you immediately.
Which is like with no explanation.
And then you gotta watch that cutscene again and then get back into the fight again.
Right. Yeah. No like pre-warning. You know, nothing. It's just like that's very limited to. It's like semi-open, and then on top of that, like only 20% of the buildings are enterable and stuff. Which I get it. Like in a big city, that is harder to make every building accessible.
For sure.
But.
And The Witcher's a great example of that, though. And I would say 90% of the buildings in The Witcher you can go into.
Yeah.
And they might not do shit. I mean, like, I get, hey, you're in an apartment building, apartment doors should be locked. Stuff like that.
For sure.
Stuff like that. But, like, The Witcher, you can just go into some dude's house and steal all of his shit and then go to the next house. And
right.
You can keep doing that. And sure, yes, they're two different studios. CD Projekt Red is a lot smaller. Cyberpunk is a really pretty big RPG as well. That studio is still only like 300 people or so.
Right.
It's a very small studio comparative to Rockstar, which is Rockstar North, Rockstar South, San Diego, New York. Like, there's a lot of Rockstar that goes into all of that game.
Just that, yeah.
Because that's the only game they make now. They only make one game for the whole company now. And it takes 7 or 8 years to make.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of collaborations and stuff, and
right, and you see what a company like CD Projekt Red could do in that time. I mean, sure, The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk both launched with bugs. The Witcher 3 less so. It still was pretty buggy, but Cyberpunk especially. But that studio, like, fucking strapped up and, like, put in some work into that game and made it real good.
Yeah, they flipped it.
I mean, say what you will about what you want about what that game is now. Like, if you find it boring, you're not gonna find it any more entertaining now.
Yeah.
But it plays better for sure.
Absolutely,
and things aren't broken.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
I expect the world from Rockstar. Like,
especially after this long wait.
Yeah.
Especially with how long it's been, and we know they've been working on it,
for a long time. This is the most expensive video game ever. This is the most expensive entertainment property ever. Like,
and like this
is a $3 billion.
The only problem
game.
with that quote right there is that a small chunk of that, I won't say like a large chunk or maybe even a half a chunk, but a small chunk of that is going to like rights, like songs.
Yeah. I mean,
advertisement. You got to get I guess they're Rockstar, so they turn all the real life things into Rockstar things. Like McDonald's is, whatever Rockstar equivalent.
Yeah,
but like a lot of their music and stuff is still real people they have to
pay out.
And that doesn't take away, like, most of the money still going to the game, but that price tag is still
Oh yeah.
involved with a lot of like, voice actors and real life famous people that are, filling in all the voids and stuff.
Yeah, I'd imagine those rights are also a lot more. I mean, arguing for those rights, the music rights. I mean, the Rockstar. So people are already going to be asking for a lot of money from them.
Yeah.
Because it's Rockstar,
Yeah.
and they're going to happily pay it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rockstar will be better this time around about nailing those rights in perpetuity, because they haven't been before.
Yeah.
And that's where you get, because it's been so long since GTA 5, right? GTA 5 came out, and Xbox Live was only a few years old by that point.
Yeah.
Like, Halo 3 to Xbox to Grand Theft Auto 5, or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare to Call of Duty 5 or GTA 5 shit, is less time than what GTA 5 is to now.
Yeah. Very true. It's been through 3 systems, 3 generations of
Right.
Xboxes and
Right. Yeah.
Right.
GTA 5 is on more platforms now. It has launched on 3 platforms launches. 3 platform launches. There's been a GTA 5 there. And that's crazy. But it's been so long that a lot of those rights, because of the online living game and stuff like that, like,
yeah.
way back in GTA 4, they weren't signing deals for 20 years because they didn't think a game was going to last more than a year.
Right.
Right? Like, so, like, that's why you get instances of, like, yeah, you can play GTA 4 again on your modern consoles, but, like, they had to take the Kanye shit out because that Kanye contract was only for 2 years and only for one release of the game.
Right.
And now they're re-releasing the game several years later. Yeah, they can't play that music again.
Yeah.
It's the Tony Hawk thing as well.
Yep.
Tony Hawk's 1+2, they had to take out some songs. They added new songs as well, but they had to take out some because of the rights. And that is just because it could be as simple as they don't have the rights anymore, and the person that has those rights, like, they don't want to, they want more money. Or it could be as hard as, we don't know who owns the rights to this.
Yeah. Sometimes it's weird like that. Yeah.
We just don't have them. We have the money to give to the person. We just don't know who to give the money to.
We don't even know who to get in touch with. Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep this going.
And that's a lot of the video game industry in general. Of just, like, I mean, especially with, like, backwards compatibility and stuff like that. And, like, when studios laying off people and stuff. I mean, there's so many defunct studios out there.
Yeah.
That just some bank bought a lot of IP rights, and then somebody else buys it that's part of a, some kind of firm, and then those rights get sold to another firm, and then somehow it all mixes up. Anime is another weird example of that happens a lot. Evangelion was in a weird spot for a very long time because the animation rights, the TV rights, the distribution rights, and there was somebody else own a piece of something, but all 3 of those things were owned by different people.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So, like, and they could never get their shit together until Netflix ended up just buying everything. And then Netflix doesn't even have the original versions of those. Like, it's like a weird abridged version of it.
Yeah.
And, like, there's some stuff taken out of it. I mean, it's very strange. Video games are still in their infancy as well. And video games have been around for 40 years, but compared to movies, books, art in general, like...
Yeah, we're still just kind of scratching the surface on what we really can do.
Right. And then even more so, internet has been around even less time. Like, the shareability of things, the idea of things being able to live forever.
Yeah, the live aspect of, yeah, like a
is
community.
so much. Yeah, it's the life of something is so much different. Where like a lot of copyright law and stuff like that was written before movies were even a thing. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of that was
When
for,
it was
like,
very,
books and
like,
shit.
yeah, when it was just one, it was very, like, two-dimensional. Now, like, everything has so many different layers to the copyright.
Yeah.
With, different artists and people involved, and everyone wants their own individual, like, copy and
Right, and that's
property and stuff.
Right, everything wants to be individualized and serialized and stuff, and that's where you get the whole pitch of NFTs. What about if you could get paid in perpetuity for a piece of art?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a digital tracker on it, every time a piece of art sells, you'd be able to gain revenue from it, which sounds appealing, but you lose the art aspect of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
art, yes, digital art is digital. And we're about to have a weird conversation about what is art, but art can be digital for sure, but I think part of what makes art profitable is the physicality of everything, the collectability of things, the individualistic piece of media, know,
like
is
this
what
painted
makes
once.
Yeah. That's the serial number.
Mm-hmm.
Like that 1 out of 100 hand painted, like that's the shit that speaks to me. So like NFTs, I know the idea is great, but like that'd be no different than like having a piece of paper with whatever art item you're reselling, and like when you resell something, having the contact information to whoever you originally bought it from, and be like, okay, I sold it, so now I gotta give you 50 cents.
Right.
That's really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Art also is not for the artist. It's just not. Art, when you put it out in the world, it's for the people viewing it. So
Right. It's yeah.
It's you can make art for yourself, but once you release it in the world, it's the world's.
Mm-hmm.
What they do with it is what they wish, and that's unfortunate, and it's also extremely gratifying. I don't know. I wish there was definitely a better way for artists to get paid like that, but like
it's just too subjective, and there's a lot going on in the art world that's kind of wrangling them. And I mean, on top of that, just like people with regular jobs are suffering too, so now the artists are like, well, we still want to make art, but the world's burning, so
right. I mean that's the life of a thespian in general, is with tragedy comes art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
With oppression comes art. With happiness and stability creates contentedness. And art can come from that, but doesn't typically come from that. It's
usually the art that does come from that is like pre-existing, or like like already, like just people doing things that already exist. Like, oh, this is just I don't really know how to describe that, actually.
For sure. No, yeah. It feels milquetoast.
It's less inspirational.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels milquetoast for sure. It's not. It doesn't. It lacks a heart. It lacks a soul. Real art with a real meaning has a real meaning behind it.
Right. Yeah.
And you can feel that. So that, I think NFTs definitely lose that as well. That piece of it. I mean, you have the people who are making NFTs and shipping it, like as art, they're just fucking, I don't know,
They just see their drawings as dollar signs. There's no like
right. There's no art
emotion in it. Yeah.
Like I have a really good buddy who is an artist who makes NFT versions of his art.
Yeah.
And sells those as well. But then there's the other side of it of guys creating NFTs, so they're drawing like stick figures and then scanning those as NFTs,
right.
and that's the art. Versus like my buddy who makes like 6-foot paintings and then scans
the guy
those.
in Virginia or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's sick. Yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah, he does like full giant murals and stuff, and then scans that and will sell that as an NFT. Which, I mean, NFTs in general, how you feel about the environment and that stuff. Yes, I feel the same way. But that idea is what a lot of artists, when they heard this pitch, wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the whole video game side of it, where it's like, there was the video game pitch is what almost seemed impossible for NFTs. Was like, if you bought a skin for a gun in this game, you'll be able to carry it into another game. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, because the people who make the game have to program all that still.
Right.
It's not like, you
then
can't just magically...
Right. I can't take my Call of Duty skin and then go play Fortnite and...
Exactly. And just, it's not like walking into another room.
Right.
You know?
That's how these people who... The people don't understand games, but think they understand the NFTs, which is a whole nother weird fucking shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
They somehow think that both of those would work.
Yeah.
And then work across the board for everyone. This is not how... I mean, just... Video game engines just don't even work that way.
Right.
Like... Just because, I mean, like... Fucking Unreal 5. Unreal 5... Alan Wake 2... and Fortnite. Those are two very different games.
Absolutely. Complete opposite, really.
Complete opposite games. Could you... Yeah, let me take my Rick and Morty Fortnite skin and then go put it in Alan Wake.
I'd love to walk around as Rick Sanchez and
just like... It just wouldn't work.
No, it doesn't
like
make
that.
sense. It doesn't make any sense.
It just... they're not coded like that.
Right.
It's just like
no,
not...
you'd literally... Whoever made the Alan Wake game would literally have to go in there and input that. Like, there might be a possible Rick Sanchez skin option.
Right, and then has to, like, update character models.
Yeah,
and, like...
all across the game. They have to put it into all the different...
Make sure animations work for it all. Like,
yeah.
Make sure the item isn't... If you have any items hanging off you, things have to,
react appropriately.
Yeah. So, like, Rick and Morty, Rick has the giant lab coat. Every time you swing, that lab coat moves.
Yeah, it has to swoosh around.
His hair moves around. Like, somebody has to program that.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody has to put it in a game. So the idea of that one thing... It's not like a JPEG where you could just copy paste,
That's what they are thinking.
Yeah.
Is that it's literally you can control V it into another game or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be fine. But that's literally not. Yeah, that's not how games work at all. With any,
Right.
there's nothing you can visually, audio, like there's nothing you can do
that would
to like with games that way. That's never.
Not even with, like, games in the same series. Like, that's just not even how... That...
Yeah, not even like sequels or whatever.
Right.
You can't even... They haven't even invented a game where you take... As far as I know, you might just correct me right now, but as far as I know, they haven't even made a game where everything you do in one game continues in the next game.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, like, you have a game with 12 different endings, and you
Right.
beat it with one of them. The next game, the sequel or whatever, isn't going to remember any of that. It's just going to pick off wherever, It's not going to pick off from the ending you chose.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even the same thing we're talking about.
Mass Effect is that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole pitch of Mass Effect was you would have your ending, and then who you save in your game, it would remember through the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So like the end of 2 is the suicide mission and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you can lose everyone. But it just uses save files to remember that. It's not. It's just reading numbers.
That's true.
At that point,
That's true.
That's not like. It's not like, oh, well, I'm playing.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as what we were talking about. But...
Yeah, what the idea of that would be, oh, I'm playing this game and immediately pick up the next game in the series, and I picked up that gun in that world, so now I can use that gun in this world.
Right.
That's not how that works either. In Mass Effect, it's just reading your saves of.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just this is what you did in that story. It's reading all of your stats and numbers and stuff. It's doing all of that math, and then it pushes out its game.
Right.
And there's only a certain amount of math problems that it's doing to.
Right. Even then, it's still not going to know like every skin you might have got or whatever. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's stuff that not everything carries over either.
Even like in the new Spider-Man game, like you got to unlock all those skins again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For
sure. But even
which is kind of silly to me because it's like I'm still the same Spider-Man. How did I just lose everything? Maybe they'll explain that. I don't know, but
there's some repeats of suits, but
yeah,
even then they still look different.
Right.
They're still
they tweak them a little.
They're tweaked up. Yeah. They still there's updated shadows and stuff on them, updated textures on all of those. But yeah, I agree. I mean that's.
Yeah, but none of that makes sense. I don't get it.
None of it does. Yeah, GTA 6 is where we started with all this and the licensing. I wonder what they're going to do with music is such a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is the living, breathing game that they want it to be, but GTA 6 might not be. GTA Online, whatever form it takes with this coming, I don't think there's music in GTA Online like that to begin with. Like,
I don't remember.
I
think there might be like a default radio. You know what? I would love just like a regular live Sirius.
Yeah,
XM.
I could see them going that route of like straight up just like
because it's already live.
Yeah, I mean that would also.
And then you'd only really need a license with Sirius.
No, because then you'd still be. Sirius has licensees with all of those.
That's true, but
record labels and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where you'd have to, if you want to bulk buy music like that, you would need to talk to the record labels and do it that way.
Yeah.
Which I could see Rockstar probably doing.
But I feel like that would be easier than, in the long run, that would be easier than buying like individual tracks. Because then if it's live, it's always evolving.
Yeah.
With the living, breathing universe that you're in.
Right. I agree. I definitely agree that should be a route that they take.
Or just let me play my own music. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you can if you just turn down the radio. But I just want an option on the radio that I can like connect to my device, you know, and it's just like my Xbox music or whatever.
I think Xbox, if you have Spotify on, it automatically switches it.
On the game?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know it does it for Forza. Forza does that.
I don't think I've ever tried it. To be honest.
Yeah, that might be worth looking.
But that'd be cool.
I used to do that with my Xbox as well. My OG Xbox.
Typically, I would just mute it and then just play my music. Because you don't really need a lot of audio in Grand Theft Auto unless you're playing the story. And
right, my original Xbox, I downloaded CDs on, and then I would play the music on the Xbox while I was playing GTA 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see them going down the radio route. I mean, they're already radio stations to begin with. Their music is always very curated, though. There is professionals like skimming through archives and archives of music to create this playlist that fit a vibe.
And then the custom songs on top of that.
There's a lot of custom music.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Neon Indian, one of my favorite bands of all time, is in GTA 5. I did a GTA 5 song.
Oh, really? That's
Cool. Change of Coast. Tyler, the Creator, did a song and A$AP Rocky did a song for GTA 5.
Yeah.
They have that. I mean, they had a whole online DLC for Dr. Dre.
That's true. Yeah.
that was a thing that happened last year, I think.
That's true. Yep.
What a weird thing. Eminem's in Fortnite. I guess that's news.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I saw
Eminem's
that.
in
Eminem's
Fortnite. The fuck?
Eminem's, but it's young Eminem.
It's young Eminem.
It's not even like, well, I mean,
Yeah, it's Slim Shady.
Yeah, Slim Shady, but still.
Well, they have Slim Shady and they have Eminem or Marshall Mathers.
Oh, like in his gray hoodie or whatever.
It's like Slim Shady's in a white t-shirt. I think Marshall Mathers is in like a pinstripe suit.
Okay, sure.
Like a suit for the Grammys
videos,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, the Eminem show.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. I guess I saw someone recreated the old rap battle from the movie. I can't think of the name of the movie for some reason.
8 Mile?
8 Mile, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I don't think there's like they don't have the other actor who played
No.
the other guy, so they used I think they have the guy from the MCU, the guy.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Like one of those characters or something, but it's very funny. Was it not
Michael Michael B. Jordan totally seems like the guy who was that, but I know he's not. I remember that dude's name is like Curtis or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember the actor's name.
I can't, off the top of my head, I can't.
Jeez.
Remember anyone right now.
I'm not an Eminem fan. I was when I was like 13, 14. Or even like high school. When Marshall Mathers LP2 came out, Kyle and I were rocking that pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think I might have been
I still
18 at that
check
point.
out his new stuff when he puts it out, but it's not always as thrilling.
I can't stand new Eminem now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I still check it out. I'm not like against it. It's not as like, it doesn't boost me up like it used to.
Right. It's just not. It's not the rap that I like anymore.
Right. Yeah, I'm not in the same.
It's just
he's like in a different headspace than I'm in now.
He's a meme now, and that's how.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten so much older, but he's still kind of rapping like he's young.
Yeah, there's that, and then like he's gotten much older, and he thinks like an old person now.
Yeah.
He has a lot of old person opinions.
He has some like political jargon, and he's getting like less anarchy and more like social security.
Yeah, less anarchy and more right wing.
Yeah.
Hard liberal or not Democrat, Republican kind of stuff. That's more of his bag now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then I always think of that's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Which sucks because you can't even really be a fan of Chris D'Elia anymore. So.
No, I don't think I don't. But stand-up comedy is weird in general for me.
Well, Chris D'Elia is like technically not a pedophile, but
yes, he's a child groomer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right. He's technically never done anything physically, but he's very.
It's a
virtually
pedophile all the same.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck.
Yeah. So. That's same. There's so many times where I think of those fucking quotes, and then even the music video that he was in, like after that, because it went so viral, they like brought him on to do the music video.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
that was like a big moment for comedians and rap, like everything, and fuck that.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, never meet your heroes, right? I mean,
it's true.
There's always. I mean, comedians are. D'Elia wasn't a surprise after Cosby and Louis C.K. and a whole bunch of other crazy
I feel like people
shit.
were calling out D'Elia from the beginning. They're like, this guy is gonna be something bad.
Yeah, this guy, he's weird.
This
He's
isn't
real
leading
off.
into anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised after all.
Right.
Of that.
Same with like the
Crazy.
drug stuff. Like when that came out about him, I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You saw how he fucking acted on stage? That's not natural.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that whole headspace is the comedian life on that level. It just seems so insane and so depressing.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's just you're just constantly chasing the train.
Yeah.
To stay relevant. Whatever. I don't want to get to a relevant level. I just want to get to a consistent level where I'm like, I can just do it as a job.
Right.
But not like get called to do interviews and
right.
shit.
I mean, that's the YouTuber dream as well, right? Like, I want to be able to do this to sustain it. I don't want to be PewDiePie.
Right, I don't want to host the next fucking New Year's Eve ball drop and have to do a Fortnite dance for fucking,
I wouldn't mind hosting a gaming event, though. I think that would be fun.
That'd be cool, yeah.
I would like
something like in the realm of what you're doing, I think that would be okay. But being called, like, that,
Chris
that
Rock
reference was
hosting
for Ninja.
the Grammys.
Right, exactly. But when, like, Ninja, that's what did you see?
Oh, yeah.
When he literally had to do, and he did the Fortnite dance, and no one in the audience knew
who he was,
who he was, what he was doing, because 90% of them are like, they don't play games. They
was
get drunk and...
Right before he got big, too.
Right, that was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like right when his name started to become relevant. His blue hair was like the signature or whatever. And
then just interesting, because that dude was streaming for almost a decade before any of
he was like an Xbox, or like Halo gamer and stuff.
Yeah,
and shit.
like old school stuff. And then, he blew up because of Fortnite and stuff like that. And, at that point, nobody knew who he was.
Right.
I think that specifically was the reason why he became a household name, was him appearing there and doing the floss.
And a lot of people were like, what is this?
Yeah, that boosted his career more than anything.
I was like, that was like right before he really took off.
Yeah.
Was that, and then after that. And now he's just so big that it's like, you don't even hear about him anymore because he's just doing everything.
Right.
Like he's like borderline a household name.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's streaming on. Who owns the rights to Ninja anymore?
I don't know. I know I saw him recently on doing something. I can't remember.
Is he still on YouTube or whatever? Because like,
no,
YouTube bought him out.
I thought it primarily does Twitch now, right?
Right. He was a Twitch exclusive for a bit, and then YouTube paid him like $140 million or something crazy.
Wow.
For a contract, an exclusive contract. So he did that for a little bit, but I felt like that fell through. Like, not too long after they started trying to really boost their YouTube live stuff. And then now you have like Kick doing that same thing for streamers as well, where they're just raking out money for... They paid XQC $100 million or something like that to be exclusive to...
I was going to say, TikTok is like popping now too with the streams. Especially, like, you know how many different people I see live streaming just Rocket League?
Oh, yeah.
Just Rocket League.
Right.
Almost all of them are getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To just do that. And that's not even like... that fun of a game. Well, I mean, I love Rocket League, but like watching it, like
it's
a sports game, so I guess
it's an e-sport.
But
people
like
are into that, are real into it.
But yeah, TikTok's just like you can get
I think Rocket League esports is like really big in like France and that side of Europe.
Interesting.
Like
I didn't.
And it's soccer, so
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Soccer and F1 cars or race cars or whatever.
That's true. Put those together, that's like it's like a French man's wet dream.
Yeah. Streaming on TikTok is definitely the new meta. Like, you don't just stream to one thing; you stream to all of it all at once. That's the new meta that people are doing. I would like to unlock live streams on TikTok. I think you need 1,000 followers or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you need a certain amount of followers before you're able to go live. Same thing with 10-minute videos.
Yeah, I know that your videos increase as you gain followers, so that way you don't just start pumping out fucking ridiculousness right off the bat.
So follow me on TikTok so I
tried to find you.
Put stuff on there.
I tried to find you on TikTok and I couldn't find you, so you might need to send me your...
Yeah, it's all my socials are on every comment in every one of my posts. And
oh, you started adding TikTok to the the posts? I didn't even pay attention to that. I just literally went to TikTok and searched your name, and then I searched MrBenShow, and neither popped up.
Really? I wonder if this is Ben Lucky will pop up. I think that's my actual.
Because there was
handle.
There was a handful of video game things I wanted to send you.
Yeah,
from
right here.
From video game stuff.
At this Ben Lucky.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I'll do that tonight then, because there's been like video game stuff that I've been coming across on TikTok that I'm like, I gotta show.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's just a meme or like an update on something, that's where I get a lot of my news now.
For sure. Yeah. This is Ben Lucky on all social medias. You can find me at. And then MrBenShow. If you Google that, you'll find my YouTube and probably my Twitch. I've never streamed on Twitch before, so maybe not. But it is MrBenShow on Twitch as well. Whenever I do start streaming. But yeah, I locked down This Is Ben Lucky a long time ago, and I've just never changed it.
No, I mean, that's a good one. That's a solid one to have. I mean, obviously I'm never gonna have one down every. I feel like Patastic might be the one. I'm really leaning on it right now. I think I can finally change my name on Snapchat again, so I might do that soon. But I'm trying to get everything.
Yeah. I don't have Snapchat. That's something I don't have.
I didn't mean I meant TikTok.
Oh.
Sorry. The compound.
Yeah.
Word thing. That's what I meant though. TikTok, yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky.
I don't have that. I don't know what that is.
I can send you. You need an invite code to get on it, so I can send you one. I have 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, Blue Sky, Twitter, or X. Blue Sky is basically Twitter for people that don't want to deal with the Twitter bullshit anymore.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what Threads was.
Threads is like that as well, but it's ran by Facebook, and anybody can get a Threads. At Blue Sky, you need a referral code and an invite code only.
Interesting.
As of right now, I think that's going to change when they finally put it in 1.0. It's still in beta, technically. But as of right now, it's invite only.
Nice.
I worked really hard for that invite. I didn't. I knew a bunch of people who got invites, and then I was like, hey, you want to shoot one over my way?
Oh, yeah. That's cool, though.
Eventually, I got one.
That's cool.
Yeah, because, like, you only get one every so often. I think it's maybe, like, one referral code a month, or I don't know if it's tied to posts or whatever. But you only get a limited amount of referral codes, and then you can't just post them. Like, they get real mad, and they might ban your account if you just post them.
Publicly, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to give them out to people. Yeah, so remind me before the day ends, and I'll send you one of those so you can get onto that and get that in before people start sniping all the names. Because that's a big thing. Even if I'm not using the platform, I always try to sign up and snag my name.
Oh right, yeah.
Just in case, like Mastodon and Hive and all of those dead platforms that last for like 3 months or whatever. I haven't been on Mastodon in a while. Maybe those sites are kicking now. Maybe those are filled with people. But when I signed up, they were very not. They're very dead. So I never kept up with it. There was another social media that came out recently it's supposed to be like old MySpace. Like, you have a top 8, it looks like old MySpace and everything like that.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot what it was called.
Huh.
I gotta look into that. But Jeff Gersman has one, and
Nice.
he talks about it all the time. Damn. I have to figure out what that was. Yeah. I think that's a podcast, man. I don't have...
Yeah, I don't even really play a lot of games. The only game I can remember playing recently besides Rocket League was I can't remember the name of the game. It's that pigeon rhythm game, Headbangers or whatever.
Headbangers Ball or whatever.
Yeah, I've been playing that. That's really fun. It's just a rhythm game. A lot of rhythm games have been coming out recently.
Is it Headbangers Rhythm Royale?
Something like that. Yeah, it's like a pigeon.
I feel like Headbangers Ball is an album compilation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be like a.
It sounds like a music compilation thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
That sounds like like a tribute thing or something. No, it's something along those lines. It's just you dress as a silly pigeon and you play all these rhythm games.
Right.
It's multiplayer. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I don't think I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I know it came out.
It's silly. It's fun. It's just, but there's been like a influx of rhythm games recently, especially because of that Wario game.
Yeah,
probably.
I think WarioWare probably ate its lunch.
Boosted it. But it's cool. It's fun. No complaints.
Yeah.
It's just a silly multiplayer game to kind of kill some time or whatever.
Game Pass, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's on Game Pass. And then that horror game that I play sometimes. The multiplayer one, what's it called?
Oh, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Yeah, they just released the Chucky update.
Which we talked about that like 3 weeks ago.
It's so, as soon as we, like the next week, they dropped it, and I was like, we were just talking about, we predicted it. And it's so silly watching this little, doll, half the size of your car. Super fast.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits of him, is he's like a super fast guy. But it's so funny watching him run around and stuff. And then, I was curious, the reason why I got on to play, I mean, besides it being a fun game, but I wanted to know, how he carried people, how he put people up on hooks and stuff, because he's a small little guy.
Right.
So what happens is, spoilers.
Does he use his voodoo powers?
Yeah, he brings up the spirit of the person he is, and then that spirit comes alive, picks up Chucky with one hand, and then picks up your body with the other.
Okay.
Carries you to the hook and then throws you up there and then disappears and it's Chucky again. It's a pretty cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think. I'm interested to see, because you also can get you can also be the girl. I can't remember her name at the moment. I want to say Cynthia, but that's just because we were watching that Rugrats thing. Trixie? No. You know who I'm talking about. The chick. The
Trixie.
The hot doll chick.
Right.
You can be her as well. So I'm interested to see if it's the same thing. Will the girl pop up, or
are they gonna have Jennifer Tilly come out?
That's what I was thinking. Do they have a Jennifer Tilly fucking thing? I don't even think I don't think it's their voice actors though.
Oh, I mean, Jennifer Tilly loves doing.
She might still be in it, but I don't think it's the Chucky one. It definitely sounds different than the original Chucky.
Tiffany is her name.
Tiffany, yeah. But yeah, so there was a small update on that, and that's silly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That was a fun little silly thing. And then,
did you know there was a Leprechaun movie in 2018? Because that's what Google told me.
I don't know. I thought the last Leprechaun movie was in the 90s.
30 years ago, yeah. Leprechaun Goes to the Hood.
Yeah, right?
Last one I remember.
Yeah.
I look at Bride of Chucky and I was like, are
That's
you
interesting.
interested in Leprechaun Returns?
No.
No.
Was anyone?
Nope. It has a 5%.
Yeah, I don't even think you can make movies about leprechauns anymore.
A Leprechaun is one that it's another one that I would like to see in Dead by Daylight.
That would be cool. Yeah, I would love that. There's a lot of that.
But him throwing you on a meat hook would be so boring. I want to see Leprechaun eat somebody.
Yeah. That's my issue with some of the creatures in that game. Is it's really he just throws you on a hook. Yeah. This is not his lifestyle, right? He would have butchered you right there on the spot,
right?
He's not gonna let you just but it's the game. They gotta.
We turned everybody into Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
which that game is fucking crazy.
I've heard that game is nuts. I've seen
such
some
a cool game.
Craziness on there. That's nuts.
So they just updated that game and added a whole bunch of the legacy stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So like a lot of like the different outfits over the years of the different characters and stuff
cool.
like that.
I'll have to check that
I think
out.
a couple more killers got added as well. That's like Game Pass, I'm pretty sure too.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I think all of those are the Michael one as well.
Oh, really? No, you mean Jason?
Jason, yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, yeah.
Interesting. Because
Pretty
those
sure that one's
servers
on
are supposed to be dead soon.
Really?
Yeah, that's is that Ilphonic that makes those? That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre people. It's that same studio, and they did the Ghostbusters one recently as well. Spirits Unleashed or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or somebody plays that Slimer, and they try to haunt the place as much as possible, and the other 4 plays the Ghostbusters.
They're trying to, yeah.
And that's the team who did the original one, which was Evolve. Was the first one of all of these that I remember. Which one person plays as a creature, and you start out as a smaller creature, and then throughout the match you evolve into a bigger, badder monster.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I thought the first one of these was the Friday the 13th one.
No, that was after Evolve. Same team though. They also did a Predator one recently.
Oh, nice.
Which I think that server's still up as well.
That's cool because there's just a Predator in Dead by Daylight that you can do.
Right. Yeah. The Dead by Daylight's Behavior Interactive, which is a different studio, and they're publishing a lot more stuff, but they're doing some new games as well. It's just the other games that they do are not like Dead by Daylight. So
yeah, this is definitely
a
completely different vibe.
They did Meet Your Maker recently, which was you build your base and stuff. Like you have treasure, right? You build your base around this treasure, and you build it real big and stuff, and you fill all of it with like death traps and shit like that. And you try to make the coolest dungeon you can, and then you go into other people's dungeons and try to raid the dungeon for treasure. Right.
I remember that game.
And I
never got to play it, but it looked really cool.
Yeah, that's PlayStation. That was on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
It might be PlayStation only. I'm not sure, but that was a cool idea of a game. It definitely, the gameplay doesn't speak to me of it because I'm not good at builders or anything like that. But the idea is really cool. Of like, you go in there and you try to get as far as you can, and you keep doing what you can, and then as the creator, you can see everyone's path through your level and see where people are dying and stuff, like almost like Mario Maker. And
it's like a Mario Maker and a Tarkov kind of combined thing.
I'd say it's kind of, it's not I think it's not, I don't think it's first person. I think it's third person.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's an extraction. Let It Die. Do you remember that game?
It sounds familiar, but I can't.
It's like a launch PS4. It was a free-to-play game. It's made by Suda51 and Grasshopper, where it's like it's a tower. You just try to climb as far as you can up it, but it's like Soulsy kind of, and it's a roguelike as well. And then whatever you get through on your runs, you bring it back to your base, and then like level up your base and like put all your stash in it. Then people can raid your base and stuff like that. If you don't know that game, that's a cool game, but like if it kind of feels like that. I don't know. Your Maker was cool. They also did a dating sim for Dead by Daylight called Hooked on You.
Yeah. I know we've talked about that. That's so silly.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure we saw that on the podcast. I'm sure we've reacted to that. Actually.
Right. Yeah, the reveal of that. They just announced a new game as well, but I think they're just publishing it. That's what made me think of all that.
Yeah.
Is that they're doing something else. I just don't remember what it was. It's not in one of the first few things that pop up right now on the screen. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm interested to see where that studio goes, because like Dead by Daylight's still printing money, but I don't know if that's where their heart lies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like, yeah, they're still cool with making new stuff for it, but like it seems like they want to do, as a studio, like more experimental things. What are they going for? I don't know.
Yeah, like what angle can they take now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see them try a whole bunch of new things, but like and they went from a dating sim to whatever Meet Your Maker is, and there's just a huge difference there. So I don't know where they go. I would like to see like more horror shit from them.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be survival horror Souls like, but like, I don't know, something more creepy. Because I think they do horror well. Even the stuff that's not like the licensed killers in Dead by Daylight they're pretty scary.
Yeah.
They've created some pretty horrifying creatures. Like, isn't the lamp lady or whatever like that? It's like a ghost lady. She holds a lamp. Does that sound familiar?
In the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple like unique, or more than a couple. There's some unique villains from that game.
Yeah.
That are just for that they made just for that game.
Yeah. That one was like pretty scary, but I think I was thinking also Evil Within at that same time. But one of the more, I don't know if it's the most recent one because I'm pretty far behind. So I guess it's been a few years, but they had a killer who wears a smiley face mask, and he transforms himself into one of your teammates.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
That's crazy.
That's cool. That's a game in itself, right?
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool.
It's like a shapeshifter. It follows, kind of.
Yeah. That's a great. Yeah, I love that idea. I like what they did. I mean, even with what they did with some of the pre-existing, like when they added the chick from The Ring, and then you had to go back and like defuzz the TVs, or you got like an extra curse on you or whatever. And,
right. Pyramid Head, of course.
Right. Pyramid Head.
And what about if Behavior made a new Silent Hill? I don't know if they got the writing chops for that, but they did the atmosphere pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, they could definitely visually do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard thing with Silent Hill is the fucking writing.
Right. Yeah, it's wacky.
It's so weird. I haven't touched Ascension again since then. I was so disappointed. Like, I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
And then it got real bad. And then all of the chat bot shit happening and stuff like that. It's funny to react to outside of, but like trying to put myself in the headspace to actually spend time doing it, it's like, nah.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot.
It was so much. And it's still going. Still going. We got 6 months of it every day for 6 months.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's still going already.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna last a week.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna make it to December.
Right. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it won't make it past the new year.
I was gonna say let's see 1 more month. Let's see where they go with it.
Yeah. I'll see where we will get to in the next episode. It's been another podcast. Another week.
one.
Like I said, Thursday we won't be recording at our normal time. We'll do it Friday morning, probably Friday afternoon. So the podcast might be a day late. Well, I guess it'll be a week from whenever this releases. Yeah, look out for that. That'll be a big one. We'll talk about the Game Awards. Ideally GTA 6, maybe. Yeah, who knows what else will happen.
Hopefully we'll get to play some games.
Yeah.
Between
I'll for sure have something. I'm
gonna try to play something today before my show.
Yeah.
Just sucks because I got to drive all the way up home and then back down to Groton later.
Yeah.
That's the life, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta try to play something before I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to work tonight. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, driving back down here sucks.
Yeah, at least it's almost all $3.95. So like, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's just obnoxious. It's just a lot of sitting, you know.
Life is a highway.
Yeah, it really is.
Hell yeah. Oh, we'll see you guys next week. It's gonna be next week's episode is gonna be fun and exciting. I mean, this was a great episode.
This was cool. I liked it. It was very chill.
Very chill.
I like, as much as I like game news, I also just don't like the news. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I love game news, but the news is so boring, you know. Like,
Right.
this is just kind of chill. You know, this is nice.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and we're updating our stuff. So, you know, eventually you'll see fresh logos. We're talking some art. We're talking music. We're talking maybe a new channel.
Yeah.
For all of this, we're talking better ways to give us money. So,
Which we've
stick
talked
around.
about. Definitely talked about that a lot. But yeah, there's definitely some exciting stuff that we're working on for
Things
the
that
new
we
year
can do
to grow this.
to grow without spending too much money right away. You know, anything we're capable of doing, we'd like to do.
Right. I mean, we got a foundation of a show going.
Exactly.
For sure. I mean, this is the 31st episode, and it's been a year and a half technically of when we started. And yeah, there's definitely ways that we can grow this show. So start the first of the new year, we are going to start working on that. I mean, we're working on it now for sure, but we're gonna have the first step in place to.
Yeah, we're gonna
going
try
all
to
of
start
that.
showing more, like, obvious changes going forward. You know.
Right.
So that way, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for a new year. It'll be. I said January 1st for the new start. It didn't have to be January 1st, but I was like, well.
But the new year is like a nice comfort to the brain. You
Right.
know, like,
It's a
oh, we start fresh at the beginning of a new year. Like,
Right. I don't even know if that's gonna be our first podcast of the year, but our first podcast of the year, it will be the start of all these changes.
Yeah.
I don't know what day the podcast will land on. I didn't look that far ahead of when the actual day is, if it's a Thursday or whatever.
yeah, I'm not sure.
But the first podcast of January, we should have something pretty big planned. I'm excited. That would be cool.
Yeah, so stick
but-
around.
Yeah, no more spoilers until then. We'll keep the rest of that. But you heard it here first, and then you'll have to remember in 3 weeks when we tell you again.
Right.
With that being said, guys, if you do want to support us now, there is a Pokemon store down below. There also is a code that you can use to save $10 off, and that's for the whole website. It doesn't have to be just my store. But that supports both of us because I can buy more stuff for the channel. Also, there's a Cash App down below. It's my Cash App, but for now, that's all we got. So you donate down that, and then that will help us both out. I should probably pay Patrick for gas. That's like the big thing. If we can get $5 like every week and just give Patrick
Man,
gas
that would
money
be
to
nice.
get here, that would be nice.
Wouldn't that be great?
That's the goal right now. $5 a week. That's not too bad.
It's realistic, yeah.
I think we get there. There have been people using my code though. So I just gotta wait for those orders to go through on their end, but that's always
That's cool,
nice.
though.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
The $10 is $10 credit. It's not like $10 cash, but I
still.
can use it to buy more Pokemon cards, which then turns into actual money for me.
Right.
So it supports.
It's part of the
everything.
process.
And part of the process for sure. God, I'm really excited for the future. It's gonna be cool. With that being said, guys, it's been fun. It's been real. Stack up scouts. Bye.
Take it easy.